Hello everyone, I am Loganathan from Loga QA Automation channel. Welcome back to the next video in our Python series, Python for Testers series. So far we have completed variables and data types, and today we will see the next topic in our series, which is nothing but operations. So let me go here, I'll create a package and I'll name it as operators. Okay, rename it, or let me start adding the first file, the Python file, and let's learn about the arithmetic operators. Arithmetic. So parallelly what I do is whatever I'm going to cover in this video, I would be adding them in this notepad, and I'll put it in the description section. Cool. Arithmetic operators, as we all know, to perform some mathematical operations in our program, we will be using these arithmetic operators. And as you see, plus, minus, and then we'll cover multiplication, division, and then we'll cover floored division, and then we cover modulus, and then we will cover the power. So these are the operations we are going to cover. Let's start with it. And as you all know, I'm creating a variable a is equal to 10 and then b is equal to say 3. Let me start printing it. Print a plus b. So here I'm doing the addition. Print a minus b. Here I'm doing the subtraction. Print a multiplied by b. Here I am doing the multiplication, and then print a divided by b. Here I am doing the division. Print a, or first what I'll do is I'll execute until this point, because these are very simple and basic arithmetic operations. This doesn't need any explanation. That's why I want to first execute these four, and then the rest, few may be aware of it but not all. So that's why I would like to put them in the next set. Okay, so let me execute. So as you see, arithmetic.py, so I have to select the current file, and after selecting the current file, I am executing it. And as you see, the first one, a plus b, 10 plus 3 is 13, and then 10 minus 3 is 7, and then 10 multiplied by 3 is 30, and then finally a divided b, that is 10 divided by 3, it goes to it goes like 3.33333, right? So it is a float number, as we all know. Okay, so this is very simple, and then I'll start with the next one, that is print. And our list is the floored division. The floored division is nothing but it is going to divide this 10 by 3, and then it's going to get the answer 3.333. In this, what is the floor? What I mean by floor is between this, where is it falling? This 3.333, where is it falling? So it is falling between 3 and 4, and between 3 and 4, which one is the lowest? 3 is the lowest. So this will return 3. You may ask, if it is returning 3.9, will it return the floored division, will it return 4 or not? So guys, it is not going to round it off to the nearest digit. It is not going to round it off. It will always return the floor value. It means if a number falls between two numbers, that is, say for example 3.5, 3.6, whatever it is falling between 3 and 4, in that case it will return the lowest point, which is 3. So that is what this floored division will do. Let's execute and see. And as you see, this is 3, right? Okay. Next is mod. Mod is nothing but it's going to give the remainder. Print a mod b, and 10 divided by 3 will be the result of division, and what is the remainder when I divide 10 by 3? It is 1. So yeah, it is returning 1. That is how we use mod, and this is nothing but the power. So we generally do 2 power 2, 2 power 3. So when we want to do that power operation, we can do this a power b. So as you all know, 10 to the power 3 is 10 into 10 100, 100 into 10 is 1000, so it should return 1000. Cool. So this is returning 1000. So these are the arithmetic operators we have in Python, and these symbols, right, the plus, minus, star, division, these are called operators. And then this expression is what called operation, because we are doing an operation. A plus b is an operation, a minus b is an operation, and the variables we are passing before and after the operator is called operand. So these are just terms. I just want you to understand what are they, and so that in case if there is any question around it, you should be able to answer. So when we put them like this, it's very clear, right? So it is very clear which one is how can I say, you can easily find out the answers. But there will be times where you will get slightly confused, because if more than one operator is getting used in your script, I'll show you that. Okay, say I am going to use this. Let me introduce one more variable, c is equal to, or I'll directly use the values, print 10 plus 3 into 5. So now I am trying to have more than one operator in an operation. Let's see. Can you guess what is the answer of this particular operation? So if you think 10 plus 3 is 13, and then 13 into 5 will be around 65, it is incorrect. Let us run it. So the answer is 25. The reason is, it is not first doing the addition, it is actually doing the multiplication. 3 into 5, so it becomes 15, and then 15 gets added to 10. So that is the reason it prints 25. So how can we understand which one takes precedence and which one gets less precedence? How can we understand? It is very easy. It is there in the 6th standard, 7th standard syllabus nowadays. So that is called board mass. So B for brackets, and then O for the operation or power. So brackets is this, and then power is this in Python, and then D and M gets the same priority, division and multiplication, and then A and S, addition and subtraction. Okay, so this is how the precedence will go. Let me give a simple example, or in this example itself I have explained first is the multiplication and then the addition is happening, because D and M, the division and multiplication, gets more priority or precedence than the addition and subtraction. So let's now move to one more example, print A or 10 plus 5. So this time I want the addition to take precedence. How can I do? I can do a brackets. So what happens when I add a bracket? So the bracket gets, that is the highest priority in this board mass, right? So this gets the priority and it gets executed, whatever is there within the brackets, and then it gets multiplied. So this becomes 10 plus 5 is 15, and then 15 into 3 is 45. So let's execute it. So as you see, it is 45. So if you know this board mass, then you should be able to construct your arithmetic operations based on the precedence that you want Python to take, right? So this is all about arithmetic operations. Next we'll go to assignment operators. So what are assignment operators? We already do this. Here we have not done, but okay, here when we say is equal to, I am assigning a value to A, right? So this is one of the assignment operators. So let's see what are the other assignment operators we have in Python. So first one is equal to, next one is plus equal to, and then minus equal to, and then star equal to, and then divided by equal to, basically equal to with all the arithmetic operators, mod equal to, and then I can use double star equal to. So let's go one by one and understand what are they. So now let me create one more Py file. This time I'll name it as assignment, and let's start with the first one, a equal to 10. This is a simple example for assigning a value to a variable. I'm printing it. Next one, what I do is a is equal to, I do a plus 20, and then I'll print a again. Let's see what it prints first. So a is equal to 10, so that's why the first time 10 is getting printed, and then second time when I print a is equal to a plus 20, what it does is, as we all saw, the assignment operator gets the lowest precedence in a statement. So the first precedence goes to the addition here, as you see the board mouse. So first it gets the precedence is for addition, so first it will do the addition. The a value is 10, 10 plus 20 is 30. Once it is added, then the assignment value comes into play, and then the value which is added will be stored in the variable a again. So it will become 30, and that's why 30 is getting printed. Kind of a is overwritten, we can say. Now in Python, if the variable before the assignment operator equal to and the variable after the assignment operator equal to the same, then we can follow a notation like this: a plus, this plus goes here and then becomes equal, and then 20. So let me take this off and I put it here, so that later point in time it will be clear for you. So a plus is equal to 20. So I'll repeat what I'm saying. Say we are having a variable before and after the assignment operator equal, and then on the right side, whatever arithmetic operator we have used, that can be used straight away in the statement like this: a, then comes plus, and then comes equals, and then 20. So this is pretty much equivalent to a plus is equal to 20 is equivalent to a equal to a plus 20. Okay, let me run this and show you. This time also it will print 30. As you see, it is printing 30. And very similar to this, I can do everything. So let me use another variable here. B is equal to 3. So let me use a plus is equal to b, and let's see what is the answer. It is 13, because a plus is equal to b is equal to a plus b. And if this is clear for you, then everything else will be the same. So a plus, what I would do, a minus, so this is equal to a minus b. Next is a multiplication, a is equal to a star b, and then here a divided by b, again here a floor division by b, and then modulus b. And the last one, a power b. a is equal to a power b. Okay, let's run this and check. Cool. So first is, it is just printing a, and then it starts with a is equal to a plus b, that's why it is printing 13, and then a is equal to a minus b, which is 10 minus 3. Let me think. So this is 13. Oh yeah, so what is happening here is okay, I'll understand. Okay, here it overwrites a, so the moment this gets executed, it becomes 13. So now 13 minus b. So in this case, what I do is I put this a comma b everywhere, so that it will be very clear for everyone. Otherwise it will create confusions, because every time the a gets overwritten and then the original value gets updated, so we have to understand what is the current value of a to understand the operation. So let's avoid it by doing this. Yes. Okay, so first is addition, so 13, and then next is subtraction, so it prints 7, 10 minus 3, and then next is division, so it is printing 3.333, and then multiplication, so there it prints 30, and then here it is floored division, there it prints 3, and here it is mod, here, so it prints 1, and finally it is to the power, it prints 1000. So very important point, guys. So in other languages you would have seen using this I++ or J++, right, the incremental operator in the loops. So that is not available in Python. So if you want to use this, so generally I++, where do we use? I is equal to I plus 1, right? That is the place where we use I plus 1. So now you know, right, I is equal to I plus 1, how we can use in Python? I plus equal to 1, right? So all three representations are same, but in Python we don't have the first option. I plus plus is not there. So in loops you can either use I is equal to I plus 1 or I plus is equal to 1. So this is how you will increment your incremental variable in the loops. All right, so we have covered assignment operators. Next we will move to comparison operators. So less than, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, then whether equal to or not, and then not equal to. So these are the comparison operators. Let's go and create comparison operators. Okay, and so far if you have observed, the assignment operator, arithmetic operator, everywhere we are passing two numbers, right? Two arguments as number, and it returns again the number as a output. For example, let me go to assignment. So here a is also a number, b is also a number, and then at the end the calculated a is also a number. And similarly arithmetic operation, a is a number, b is a number, when it adds 2 it is a number again. But when it comes to comparison operator, it's not going to take numbers as input. Okay, it is going to take Boolean as input. So what I mean, let me tell you. So say let's print it. Print, oh I'm sorry, it is a comparison operator. It's going to take numbers as input, but output will be Boolean. Let's see, a is equal to 10 and then b is equal to 20. Then I can print a less than b. So now a is a number, b is a number, but when a less than b is performed, it is going to compare these two and then return the Boolean. So 10 is less than 20, so this will return true, right? Let's play this. Correct. As you see, it is returning true. And if I try to print A is greater than B, what's going to happen? It's going to print false. See, false. Okay, next one I want you to guess. Here if I say A is greater than A, what it is going to do? Yes, it is also going to print false because A is not greater than A, it is equal to A. As you see, the third one is also false. And I can go with the same again, A is less than A. What is going to happen? So this is also going to print false. Okay, all right, so this is clear for you. Greater than and less than. Generally, we don't write programs or scripts in this way. So we will use these conditions in if or in loops. If we want to compare and exit the loop, we will be using these comparison operator or relational operator. But I just want to show you what are these operators are and what will be its return value. Okay, that's why I'm doing it here. Let's go with other values, other operators. So A greater than or equal to, instead of A, let me use 10, greater than or equal to 5. What it will do? It will return true. So this time, this greater than or equal to does two things. It is checking first whether the left hand side is greater than the right hand side or not, and then left hand side is equal to the right hand side or not. So there are two conditions executed, but with or in the middle. So how it is done? 10 greater than 5 or 10 equal to 5. So there will be or in between. So one of these conditions is true, then it will return true. Let's run this. So true is returned. So how can you understand this? So let me put it here. Say if I put 5 is greater than or equal to 5, what is happening is 5 greater than 5, this will become false, but 5 is equal to 5, this will become true. That is why this one also will return true. As you see, the last one is also returning true. Only when both these conditions are getting false, then you will get the return as a false. So copy this. Say 3 is greater than or equal to 5. So what will happen? 3 is greater than 5. No, 3 is not greater than 5. So this is false. And here 3 is equal to 5. No, this is also false. So false or false will become false. As you see, this is false. And the same logic goes for less than or equal to also. So I can copy paste it and I'll use 10 less than or equal to 20, and then here 5 greater than, okay, and then less than or equal to 5. Okay, this is true because 10 is less than 20. This will become true because 5 is equal to 5. So I remove this. So now you should be able to understand it without this comment. So I'll remove it. And this will be false. Yeah, false. Okay, let's go next. We have seen less than, greater than, this and this. So equal to equal to. So this is pure equal comparison. So let's see, print 10 equal to equal to, or 10 equal to 10. And it should print true. But if I put any other number, 10 equal to equal to 5, it will return false. Correct. Okay, this is equal to, not equal to is just opposite of this. 10 not equal to 10, and then 10 not equal to 5. So this will get false and this will get true. False and then true. That's all. So these are the comparison operators we have. Quick thing to remember is comparison operator will take numbers as input, but at the output it will be giving you the Boolean data type. Okay, cool. And then the next one is the logical operator. We have or, and not. So remember, it is all lowercase keywords, or, and not. So I'm going here, let me create new Python file, not Python file, let me create a pack. Okay, yeah, new Python file, logical operators, or logical, I'll stop. And here okay, now so far we have seen operators which will take numbers as input and then give number as output, and then we saw an operator which is comparison operator. It will take number as input and then boolean as output. But these logical operator will take boolean as input and then boolean as output. Okay, what I mean, print true, okay, true or true, true is returned, right? So or means left hand side or right hand side, any one of it is true, then it will return true. Let's see. Okay, so in the first case both are true, so it will return true. In the second case only the right hand side is true but the left hand side is false, but still it will return true. And on the third case, left hand side is true and then right hand side is false, even then it will return true, because if any one is true it will return true, but on the last case both are false, so it is not going to return true, it will return false, right? True, 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 it is false. Again, this is not the way we will write our programs or scripts. This is just for your understanding how these operators are functioning. Okay, I'll go with and next. Okay, for and both should be true, only then it will return true. In all other conditions it will return false. So only for the first case it will return true, and here false, here false, here false, because one condition is false, right? True, and after true all three are false at the output. And then finally we have not. Not can be used to inverse the condition that we are getting. For example, here I can simply add one not. Right? So true, true is true, true and true is true. And then when I convert that into not, it will be printing false. See, this is printing the false. So similarly, or I can make it very simple. I don't want to confuse you. So true and then false. Okay, let's run this. So last two, if you see, just reversed. This true is reversed to false and false is reversed to true. So that is when we use this not operator. And not operator doesn't take two inputs, it just takes one boolean input and it just flips it to the other boolean input. Okay, alright, so we have covered logical operators, and then we'll get into membership operator. So yesterday on the last class we saw list, tuple, and then set, frozen set, dictionary and all, right? So those are called collections, and if we want to find out if there is something present in the collection, then we can use this membership operator. So let me go here, member I'll put. Let me first create a collection. You remember how I created collection yesterday? Say a equal to square brackets log n, and then I'll use Kumar, and then I'll use Bala. Okay, now I want to check if Logan is there in print Logan in A. So what is it going to do is, it's going to take this content Logan and it is going to check whether one of the collection element is Logan. If so, then it is going to return true. As you see, it is returning true. So this is member operator. We have in and also we have not in. So if I want to check if something is not there inside it, I can say maybe Mohan not in A. Okay. For this also it should return true because Mohan is not present in this collection. Correct. If I give Logan here, then it's going to give me false because Logan is present and I'm trying to find make it not, right? So that's why it is giving me false. And similarly here, if I give Mohan and execute, I'll get false because the question is, do you find Mohan in this list? It wants to answer no. Whenever it wants to answer no, it will return false. And here the question is, you shouldn't find Logan in this list, but actually it is finding Logan. So that's why it is returning false. Okay, that is the use of this in. And yeah, see in Python, string is a collection. So let me say A is equal to I am Loganathan. Now I want to check if Loganathan in the string that I created now. What do you think? It will return true or it will return false? It should return true because it is a string and by default it will be considered as collection. And now I'm passing a value and I'm expecting that value to be present in the string. If it is present, then it should return true, and it is returning true. Okay, remember this is a string, that is why it is doing partial match. But in case, let me take this as an example one more time. And here I'll, instead of Logan, I pass I am Loganathan, and then I'll try to do the same thing, print Loganathan in A. But this time this Loganathan is not the exact match. What I mean by exact match is it is not the content, it is a partial text of the content. In that case it will not work, it will return false. So either you have to pass the string, or if you are using the collection, then it has to be the exact match. Okay, or what you can do is from the collection you can give the index so that it gets in as a string here, and then it prints true. Okay, that's how you will handle the in and not in. So these are member operators, and very similar to it we have identity operator. I will cover that also. So this identity operator, I'm not sure whether we will use it in our programs or scripts for test automation, but still I'll cover it. Python file identity. So I come here, membership operator, I'll put it as in. Come on, not in. Okay, and then identity operator. Identity operator is and is not. Okay, let's go here. So first let me create a variable and I store a value 10, and then yesterday we saw print type of A will print what is the type, and then let me print ID of A. So what it will do, it will print the address of the variable A. Let me first execute this. So as you see, The type of A is integer and ID of A, which is nothing but the address of A, is this. Now understand what I am doing here. So A is equal to 10, B is equal to 20, and then I am doing C is equal to A. Okay, what I am doing is I am creating a new variable and assigning A to it. So internally what happens is a new variable created, C is created, and it just points to the variable A, or it points to the same memory allocation. So A and C will have the same memory ID. So how can we ensure it? Let me print B and C. This I remove, it is not required. B and C. Let me execute this. As you see, A's memory ID is this, which ends with 512. B's memory ID is this, which ends with 832, and C's memory ID is this, and again it ends with 512. So from here it is very clear A and C have the same memory ID. So for us to check whether something has same memory ID, Python has given us couple of operators. One is this, which is is. Print A is B. Let me save and then run. It says false because these two are different. But when I say A is C, and let's run it, it says true because A and C are having the same memory. And the opposite is also there. I can do like this. A is not B and A is not C. So now first we got false, true, and then this time since we are reversing it, we should get true and false at the end. Yeah, we are getting true and false. So this is the identity operator. So these two are the identity operator. One is, another one is not. Okay. Next we have a bitwise operator. I'm just thinking whether we should cover it or not. According to me, it's not required because we will never use bitwise operators in our automation scripting. Bitwise operators, we have say we have left shift, we have right shift, and then single and then we have single or the pipe symbol. So we have many, and according to me it is not required, so don't focus on this and waste your time. So just skip it. Okay, now I would like to cover a couple of things where we have one operator has multiple use, right? Okay, let's go and do a new Python file, and that I'll call it as multiple. Okay, all right. So what I mean by that is, say A is equal to 10 and B is equal to 20, and then if you want to print A plus B, it's going to do addition. Now A is equal to Loganathan and B is equal to Desikachari, and if I do print A plus B, so what is it going to do? So here what is this plus going to do, and then here what is this plus going to do? As you see, the A and B are numbers, so it's going to perform the addition, and here the A and B are strings, it's going to do concatenation. Let me run this. You can see the results. It is 30 Loganathan Desikachari. So this is one of the examples for one operator being used for multiple purpose. Now we may think, okay, what will happen like this, Loganathan, and then B is equal to 100, and what will happen if I do print A plus B? Any guess? You think Loganathan 100 will come? No, it's not going to work in that way. It is going to throw an error. So it says it cannot convert int into string. That is what it says. So I cannot mix up things. But how can I convert this number into string? I can do a typecast. How can I do the typecast? I can use str, or let me use another variable, c is equal to str of b, and then I can use the c here. Now it is lower than 100. And similarly, say there are two variables which are coming as string, say a is equal to 100, b is equal to 200. But I want to add them. How can I do? So print, I can typecast them into int of a, or before that I'll show you how it will work if I don't typecast them. If I directly put a plus b, it will be like 100200, right? It will just concatenate and print it. You see it? It is just concatenating. But if I want to add, what should I do? Print int of a plus int of b. And now if I do the execution, you see that 300 is getting printed. So what is happening? The string gets converted into number first, and then the addition is happening. That's why you are seeing it this way. All right. So this is clear for addition. Now let's go to another operator which has more meanings. Okay. So let's go to, okay, that is nothing but the star operator. Let me say print Loganathan star 3, and let's run this and see what is happening. So it has printed Loganathan 3 times. You see it, right? Why is it doing this way? Because it is string into the number. But if I simply use two numbers, what it will do? Say 3 cross 3. It will just multiply it and print the result. Correct? 9. But when it is used against a string, it is printing 3 times. But what will happen if I simply give two strings and try to do multiplication? Loganathan and then test. It is giving me the error. So it is not accepting it. So it is expecting a integer value at the end, but it is actually getting the str, so non-int type. So that's why it is throwing the error. All right. So this is another character or another operator which can be used in multiple ways, right? This is also another example I wanted to share. Fine. So we have covered almost everything. I just want to show you one more function that you can use for while practicing creating the programs. So let me close this and I create a new Python file. I'll name it as, say, input function. So far we were hard coding, right? A is equal to 10, and then we were printing a. And I don't want to do it this way because I'm hard coding it. I cannot change the number during the runtime. I cannot change the value that is getting assigned to this variable during the runtime. So what I want to do is say b is equal to input, and I can enter any text, enter a number, and I'll put a semicolon and a space so that it will be easier for you to, and then I want to do print a, print b. Let's save this and run it. The program has not stopped executing. That's why you are seeing this red color icon. Only when you click on it, it will stop. Otherwise, it is waiting. It keeps running. So it is prompting you to enter a number. And then if you enter a number, say I am entering 200 and hit enter, it just prints the number here, 200. But when we use this input, let's see what is the data type in which it is getting the value. I'll enter 200. So it is string type. So why I wanted to print this is, say there is a program, okay, where you need to get two inputs from the user, two input numbers from users, and add them and then show it as a result to the user. How can you do it? Generally what we do is, this is how we try. Input, enter first number, then b is equal to input, enter the second number, print a plus b, and we run this. So it will ask me to enter the first number. I enter 10, then I enter 20, and I hit enter. I would expect 30 to be the answer, but it will just concatenate and send. The reason is, this input, the return type is always string, but now you know how to convert the string into integer. Nothing but a small typecasting that you need to do. I'm doing it like this just before the value give int. Now these are converted into numbers and stored, and then it gets added here. Let's see what it does now. 10 and 20. This time the answer is 30. So this is the way you can handle numbers that you are keying in as a user input, and when you just want to use it as a string, you don't need to typecast it. Okay. All right. So I think I have covered everything that I wanted to show in this session. Let me see. Here, bitwise operators we covered, and then plus bitwise operators we did not cover, and I strongly recommend you not to do it. Plus and star, multiple use, we covered, and then we covered the function called input, right? And then also we covered typecasting. So intf strf, right? So all these we have covered in this video. So please go through this and then try doing it on your own, execute them, and in case you are not getting the desired output, do a comment in my video. I'll try to help you out. Thank you so much for watching this video. Until we connect in the next video, bye from me.